The Saturday, September 9th, MLB Picks betting show on the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by the SGPN Free Roll Football Contest. Join our season-long pick'em contest for a chance to win $3,000 and a Super Bowl autograph SGP helmet. Sign up at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/contest. Roster brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. Roster brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college or NFL and win up to 20 times your money in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus of up to $100. Roster brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly. The bet just $5 on any NFL game, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code SGP. Finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. and use promo code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month and start making smarter bets today. Welcome, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is Friday, September the 8th, currently 6:15 on the East Coast. Here to dig into the Saturday schedule on the Diamond. I know everybody's excited for football, college football week 2, NFL week 1. But like I said, we're going to be here grinding through the MLB season until we get to the finish line. And you know what? Myself and my co-host, we're going to keep an eye on that chat on who's chiming in with us every single day, still grinding out the MLB with us. Because, you know, I know that pretty girl that walks by, everybody wants to turn their head and look at that NFL season. But hey, MLB, she's the wifey, man. She stays loyal to you. But joining me here to help me break it all down, you guys know him as the voice of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the NFL Gambling Podcast with me this season as well. It's Lonte Smith. Lonte, how's it going, my man?
Not bad, man. Sorry for the delay. That's my bad. But yeah, man. Looking forward to this card. Some intriguing matchups upcoming, and I guess some that have already kicked off, being that they were the home team and kicked off Thursday. But yeah, man, looking forward to breaking down some of the top games for this weekend.
Yeah, man, we'll dig into the top 8 matchups in our eyes for this upcoming weekend, for at least for Saturday, as what I'm trying to say. But like you mentioned, you know, playoff race is still to be determined in the AL West, of course, and of course the wild card spots still up for grabs. So we'll keep our eye on all of it for the rest of this season and the remainder of the month of September. So let's just kick it off here, Lonte. We'll start with the first game on the Saturday schedule. It is going to be, let me get over to the odd screen here. The first game we want to get into, it is going to be the New York Yankees and the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers are visiting the New York Yankees. I see Wade Miley on the mound here for the Brewers. And Michael King is going to get the start here for the New York Yankees. Currently seeing the Yankees as a minus 142 home favorite, plus 120 on the money line for the Milwaukee Brewers. Total is set at 9. Run line minus 1.5, plus 140 for the Yankees, and plus 1.5, minus 166 for the Milwaukee Brewers. Lonzo, we got a friend out there with us as well, man. He needs to make an appearance there.
Oh yeah. She's excited, man. Been locked up all day, so she's trying to, I'll have to put her away whenever you give your handicap. But I'll start it off, man.
You want me to kick it off?
No. You good. I can
Okay.
do it afterwards. Yeah. Man, I like Milwaukee here. I know New York has been hot. They won 8 of 10. Milwaukee just right at 500 in their last 10. They're 37-34 on the road. I kind of, King, he's been a spot starter at best. I think his last outing he gave 5 innings, which was the most he's pitched in all year.
Yeah.
The Yankees bullpen has usually been a strength of theirs, but it's been kind of down this year with some of those guys coming back to the pack. But I like Miley. I think he's a better pitcher. 4-1 with a 2.77 ERA in his prior 10 appearances. Hasn't allowed over 3 runs in road games in his last 7 starts. Yankees are playing well. The young guys are hitting the ball well, and they got a little burst of energy. But again, I think Milwaukee, who's playing for something, and their offense has been up and down. I think they come to play here against what essentially is a bullpen game if Michael King can't go a long way. But I like Milwaukee here. I also lean to the over. I think we could see some runs here.
Yeah, I know a few weeks back we were talking about the Yankees being a team that were doing really well against left-handed pitching, and that's kind of fallen off over the last 2 weeks. They were, I think, at the top of the league I think it was prior to the 2 weeks ago, where they were just absolutely crushing left-handed pitching. But those numbers have now fallen off as of the last week, and going back to over the last 2 weeks as well. So you take a look at the Yankees offense right now. I know it's only 93 plate appearances over the last 2 weeks against left-handed pitching, but they're only batting 185 WRC plus. They are all the way down to let's see here, where are the Yankees? Number 17 on base percentage. They are at number 26. Slugging percentage, they are still at 14. On base, OPS, they're number 17. So it almost seems like that it's either going over the fence or they're getting out when they're going up against left-handed pitching. And like you mentioned, Lonte, that Wade Miley, left-handed pitcher, that the Brewers still have something to play for, right? They're still battling that NL Central division, and I think this is going to be a game where I think they should take care of business here against the Yankees. I know the Yankees have been playing slightly better. Miley has given up some runs, and he's prone to giving up the home run ball as well. He's allowed at least 2 home runs in his last 2 starts for the Milwaukee Brewers. And like you mentioned, that Michael King made his longest start of the season, which was against the Houston Astros back on Sunday Night Baseball. We had a really good outing for the Astros. I know the Astros scored 1 in the first inning, but that was pretty much it in that Sunday Night Baseball game. 5 innings, he allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts for Michael King in that start. So I think I agree with you. I think we may see some runs here. I think it's trending towards 8.5. I do currently see 9s out there. I'll probably wait for that 8.5, thinking this might turn into like a 5-4 type of final or 6-4 victory here for the Milwaukee Brewers. But I think there may be some opportunity for you guys to look at some home run props, especially for the New York Yankees, especially with Wade Miley, the way that he's been allowing home runs, not only over his last 2 starts, but also over his last 5 starts. He's given up at least 1 in 5 straight starts. All right, let's get over to the next game we want to get into. That's going to be a 2:20 Eastern start. Arizona Diamondbacks and the Chicago Cubbies battle out at Wrigley Field. Currently seeing the Diamondbacks are a plus 120 road underdog and minus 142 for the Cubs. And Merrill Kelly gets started here for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And my guy, Justin Steele, friend of the program, gets to start for the Chicago Cubs. Want to take us away for this handicap?
Yeah, sure. I got you. So, yeah, man, you mentioned Steele. I think he had a Cy Young. Well, we all pretty much think he has a Cy Young performance in his last start. I pretty much expect the same here. Arizona's offense has been up and down. I think Steele can continue his streak. He's had 14 innings scoreless, so he's got that going into this game. Kelly's been good also, though. He's been pitching extremely well. But he has been dealing with some cramp issues. He left his last start with some cramp issues, and that's something to monitor if you want to, back Arizona. But I'll be taking Chicago here, man. I like their bats, especially in Wrigley. Have we got where the winds will be blowing? Has it updated yet?
That was exactly what I was trying to find right now. Let me
I
see
didn't
if I
see
can
it when I was
find it here.
when I was putting my notes together earlier. I didn't see it. It wasn't available yet, but I think we can see, I think we can see a low scoring game though. I mean, both pitchers on the mound. I think we can see a 2-1, a 3-2 type of game here. So I do like the under in the Cubs. Cubs 46-29 is a favorite. I mean, at home, man, I can't back I can't back the Cardinals. I can't back the D-backs with the
Oh, yeah.
inconsistency of their offenses. Even though I like Kelly and how he's been going, I think he's had double-digit strikeouts in 3 of his last 5, so he's been going extremely well. It's just the fact that I trust Steele way more than I do Kelly, and I trust the Chicago offense more than I do Arizona. So, give me the Cubs, give me Justin Steele. Hopefully, he can cement that Cy Young for us, Munaf.
Yeah, man. He's coming off his best performance of the season in his last start, which was against the San Francisco Giants. He went 8 shutout innings in that start, only allowed 2 hits, 12 strikeouts in that game against the Giants. And the Arizona Diamondbacks over the last 2 weeks, I'll quickly talk about their offensive categories here. They are let's see here, Arizona, number 17 in team batting average against left-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. Slugging, they are number 17. OPS, they are all right around 16. So slightly not slightly, but they're right around league average for most of those categories. But again, I just like the form that Justin Steele is in. I think that he should go along well here, and I'm comfortable with him pitching at home here for Justin Steele. And you take a look at his home numbers this season: 16 starts, he's 12-2 with a 2.25 ERA against NL West teams this season. 3-0 with a 0.89 ERA. He's only allowed 2 earned runs in 20 1/3 innings pitched. So it's going to be a fun battle to watch between Justin Steele and Blake Snell. I know TVDBJ is holding those tickets on Blake Snell to win Cy Young. I have some significant tickets on Justin Steele to win the Cy Young as well. So I'm going to go with the Cubbies here, man. Minus 142 on the money line with my guy Justin Steele on the mound. All right, Lonte, before we continue the conversation here, let me tell everyone about the free roll football contest that's happening over on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Have you signed up yet for our season-long NFL Pick'em contest? It's $1,000 for first place and $500 for second place. But if you're a Patreon member for the NFL season, your price doubles to $2,000 and $1,000. Plus, if a Patreon member wins the free roll football contest, they'll get an autographed full-size Sports Gambling Podcast helmet, which includes guests like Joe Theismann, Bill Romanowski, Pac-Man Jones, John Sally, Eric Metcalf, and LeGarrette Blunt. Sign up link is at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/contest. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/contest. And if you want to become a Patreon member, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get in for your chance to double your prize and win the weekly Patreon Pick'em contest as well. And we're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. We've been waiting 7 long months for the NFL season. The first game is in the books from Thursday Night Football, but NFL Week 1 is officially going off this weekend. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is also hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you can get. Download the app now and use promo code SGP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SGP only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. And we're also brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't have to be stressful. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guaranteed, you can stop stressing over tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you're going to have. I've used the Game Time app, and my favorite feature about the Game Time app is anytime I'm going to go buy tickets for a sporting event, they give you an image of what your view is going to be like at that particular venue. So you're not going to have any surprises when you actually get to that venue. They have flash deals and last minute tickets. It's easy to find and to buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Like I mentioned, the images of the seat views when you buy those tickets. Forget having to planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and much more. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. They're so confident that if you find tickets in that same row and same seat at another outlet, they're going to credit you 110% of the difference. And that's how confident they are in their prices. So don't waste any more time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices are guaranteed. All right, let's get over to the next game of the schedule. Man, we have a lot of Mal groupies in the chat today, man. I don't get it, man. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but Mal will be here on Sunday evening around the same time, so you can come to look at his pretty face if you want to tune in for Mal. But you're stuck with my ugly face and the handsome man Lonte over there. But next game, let's get to here, Lonte, for the Saturday schedule. Why don't we go to let's go to the Dodgers game. 4:05 Eastern start. We have the LA Dodgers and the Washington Nationals. Bobby Miller gets a start here for the Dodgers, and Jake Irvin is on the mound for the Washington Nationals. Dodgers are overwhelming favorite of minus 205, plus 170 on the money line for the Washington Nationals. Total is set at 9.5 with juice towards the under at minus 118. Run line minus 1.5, minus 130 for the Dodgers, and plus 1.5, plus 110 for the Washington Nationals. Starting with Bobby Miller, who's having a pretty good season here for the LA Dodgers. 8-3 with a 3.80 ERA, 84 strikeouts to 26 walks on the season. Last 5 games, he's been absolutely brilliant. 2-1 with a 2.87 ERA. He's only allowed 10 earned runs and 31 in third innings pitched. Did face the Nationals earlier this season. He went 6 innings in that game, only allowed 4 hits and 1 earned run to the Nationals, and he's been absolutely outstanding on the road this season for the Dodgers as well. 4-1 with a 2.70 ERA, and against NL East teams, he's a perfect 4-0 in 5 starts with a 1.26 ERA. The Dodgers have won 4 of his last 5 starts, and all 4 of those starts have come by multiple runs. He did get into a little bit of trouble against the Guardians back on August 22nd, where he did allow 4 earned runs and 6 1/3 innings pitched, and that was on the road. And the Dodgers did go on to lose that game 8-3. I think the bigger news also we should mention here for the Dodgers is that Mookie Betts is going to miss around at least 3 games. I think he left with either that, was it a knee issue or a foot issue for
one of those. I thought it's just a lower
leg. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to turn out to be anything serious for Dodger fans. But again, Mookie Betts we talk about MVPs. I mean, the guy's name is always in the conversation. That's because how good he is.
Did he hit 500 in August? Close to it?
I'm sure he probably did. Let me see if I can look that up here.
I think he was close to 500 in August.
Let's see. I'm going to lean here with the Dodgers, man. I just think, again, they're the better team. Jake Irvin on the other side, there was a very small stretch where he looked like he was going to be a competent big league starter. And he's done pretty well over his last 5 games. He has a 2.89 ERA. He hasn't recorded a win or a loss in that span. But he did face the Dodgers earlier this season. 5 innings, he allowed 4 earned runs and 8 hits to the Dodgers in that game. And he hasn't performed very well at Nationals Park this season. 15 starts, he's 2-4 with a 4.31 ERA. And the Nationals have lost 2 of his last 3 starts when he is on the mound. Mookie Betts, let's see here quickly. I'll go to game logs here. In the month of August, Mookie Betts was batting .455.
That's ridiculous.
516 on base percentage, 839 slugging percentage. He had 11 home runs, 30 RBIs, and let's see here, 3 stolen bases. But I mean, I know we talked about it when the Atlanta Braves and the Dodgers played that series last week, that the betting odds for the NL MVP had significantly came down for Ronald Acuna Jr., who was hovering around north of minus 400, minus 500 for the past couple of months. But he's not going to pull away for that award. But long story short here, Lonte, I'm taking Dodgers minus 1.5 on the run line here.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I like the over. I also like the Angels. I look like the Dodgers team total to go over. Also, the average in their last 10, averaging right around 6 runs, 5.7 in their last 10. They're hitting about 284. Almost 2 home runs per game, 1.7, almost double digit hits. Also 7.4 hits in their last 10 for Washington. They're not scoring as many runs, but we all know I respect Washington's offense. I mean, it's not consistent, but I do trust them to score some runs. Maybe not, all right away, but I think they'll get 3 or 4 in here, and the Dodgers will get us 7 or 8 here. So I look forward to the sky over. I don't hate the run line. I'd much rather have the Dodgers team total to go over. Don't trust Jake Irvin at all. You rattled off his stats earlier, so I won't regurgitate that. But yeah, I'm with you on the Dodgers. Like the over. Love the Dodgers team total to go over.
All right. Before we get over to the next game on the schedule, we want to talk about. Let me tell everyone about the newest sponsor on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. That is going to be Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bets with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg as well as expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate and for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent and data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame app, Hall of Fame Bets app, or visit hofbets.com and use promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. With their fantasy pick'em game, you pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do, spending your Sundays doing, watching the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over the Underdog's mobile app or on their website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you sign up, make sure you use your promo code SGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $100. Again, that's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, Lonte, let's get over to the next game that we want to talk about on the Saturday schedule. Let's go over to a 4:05 Eastern start. The Seattle Mariners, they're in Tampa to take on the Rays. I'm seeing Brian Wu is going to get the start here for the Mariners, and Aaron Savali is on the mound here for the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays are a minus 122 home favorite, plus 102 on the money line for the Seattle Mariners. Total set at 8.5 with a little bit of juice towards the under at minus 112. Run line minus 1.5 plus 164 for the Mariners and plus 1.5 minus 198 for the Rays. It kind of got that flip there. But Lonte, what are you liking about this game?
Yeah, I like the way both teams have been playing. Seattle has won 3 straight versus Tampa. Both of their offenses have been a bit up and down, as we seen last night. Seattle won 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. Savali hasn't allowed over 3 runs since June 25th. In 16 and third innings pitched at home since joining Tampa Bay. He's only allowed 1 run, so he's going pretty well. I think we can see another low-scoring affair. Maybe not 1-0, but maybe a 4-2 type of game. 3-1, anything in that vicinity. Wu was roughed up by Cincinnati, but I think he'll settle down here. He's been pretty up and down his last few starts. But, I mean, I've been back in Tampa at home all year. I mean, I think they're juggling at home. Savali has been really good. I think that's one of the low-key bigger additions at the deadline was them getting him. And then, I mean, obviously, I get confused. Was McClanahan already on IL whenever that happened, or was it before and they were waiting on him?
Yeah, so they put him on the IL, and then I think they did like further testing and stuff.
Okay,
and
that's
then
what it was.
Like they determined, all right, he's got to get,
right. So the Tommy John
surgery.
wasn't a foregone conclusion when they got Savali. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. All right, but yeah, either way, I think we see both offenses have a little bit of success, but not many runs scored here. I like both pitchers, although Wu's been a bit up and down. I think Savali is more consistent. I think we see a 3-2 game here, man. I can't call it either way. If I had to make a lean, I'd lean to Tampa, but just because of Savali. Also, if you want to look at Tampa early. You don't want to go in, bullpen shenanigans with anybody, although Tampa's a decent bullpen. Also, I would look at Savali first 5.
Yeah, Savali's, I mean, he does give up the runs within the first couple innings there, but he's coming off a solid start against the Boston Red Sox, 5 in the third. He did allow 3 earned runs, but he did have 12 strikeouts in that game as well.
Yep.
But prior to that loss against the Red Sox, the Tampa Bay Rays had won 4 straight starts when Savali did make the starts here. But this is going to be his 3rd start already against the Mariners this season. And he's done pretty well against them, despite having a 1-1 record. He's allowed 4 earned runs in just 12 2/3 innings pitched, with a 2.84 ERA. So I don't trust Brian Wu, man. I mean, he made his return for this, his last start, I should say, was against the Cincinnati Reds. 5 innings, he allowed 5 earned runs. It's just inconsistencies from Brian Wu.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, those first couple innings, he looks absolutely amazing. Looks like he's going to have a double-digit strikeout game, but then it just kind of falls down for him after like the 2nd or 3rd inning, where he just gives up the run. So, I'll go with Aaron Savali and the Rays here at a -122 price. I feel like we're getting a discount there, especially how well Aaron Savali has been pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's go to a 4:10 Eastern start. The Baltimore Orioles, they are in Boston to take on the Boston Red Sox. Chris Sale gets to start here for the Red Sox, and Jack Flaherty is on the mound here for the Baltimore Orioles. The Red Sox are a -162 home favorite here, +136 on the money line for the Baltimore Orioles. Total set at 9.5 with juice towards the over at -115. Run line -1.5 +124 for the Boston Red Sox, and +1.5 -148 for the Baltimore Orioles. Jack Flaherty has, again, another pitcher when we talk about inconsistencies. His name is definitely at the top of that list. On the season, he's 8-8 with a 4.84 ERA. His last 5 starts have not been very good for the Baltimore Orioles. 1-2 with a 6.66 ERA. He's allowed 18 earned runs and 24 1/3 innings pitched. Fortunately, in his last start, the Baltimore Orioles offense was able to carry his atrocious start, where he did allow 4 earned runs and just 4 2/3 innings pitched against the Diamondbacks. But prior to that, he allowed 3 earned runs and about 5 2/3 innings to the Colorado Rockies. Gave up 7 earned runs to the San Diego Padres in 3 innings. He allowed 3 earned runs to the Astros in 5 innings. So, number one, walks have been a concern for Jack Flaherty this season, but also he's given up the home run ball now as well. In 4 straight games, he's allowed a home run. In his last start against the Arizona Diamondbacks, he also allowed 2 home runs in that game as well. Meanwhile, Chris Sale for the Boston Red Sox, he's been doing all right. I mean, they've been very cautious with the way they've been cautious about how they want to, I guess, manage his innings or the number of pitches that he is throwing. He hasn't gone past the 5th inning. Again, I think it's probably something that they've already probably come in an agreement to, that you're going to throw either X amount of innings or X amount of pitches. But definitely had a great start against the Royals in his last game. 5 shutout innings, only allowed 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Prior to that, against the Astros, he did get hit hard in 9 2/3 innings and 2 starts. He allowed 7 earned runs. Did face Baltimore twice already this season. He's allowed 12 earned runs in just 8 innings pitched against the Baltimore Orioles. I like the over for the Friday night game there, Lonte, but I think we're going to see runs in this game again as well. I think Dylan mentioned it yesterday that anytime these two teams usually get together, we just do see runs being scored. I think this might be another instance where we do see this game having a lot of runs. So I do like the over 9.5. I'm not sure if the Red Sox are warranted to be a -162 home favorite here. I'll lean with the money line. All the Orioles, but my more preferred play is going to be on the over 9.5 here, Lonte.
Yeah, I like the over also. In the last 10 games, those averaging exactly 6.5 runs per 9. They're hitting almost 300, 295 in their last 10. 11 hits. So they're putting the bat to the ball. And good things happen when you put the ball in play. Sale has been good, but again, how much length are you going to get out of him? I'll bring up another Mal reference here, man. Mal always says that he struggles in that like 140 to 160 range or 130 to 160 range, and all of them aren't created equal. I mean, I think that this is right. This is Baltimore's sweet spot. Like right as a dog, when you're getting them in a nice from 120 to 150 price range or 120 or above. I think they've been all go. I don't know if it's a way to track that. I have to look into that, but I'm pretty sure they are up heavy when they're in this type of dog role. But I agree with you. I think we see some runs here. I would probably be on Baltimore if it wasn't for Flaherty. I can't trust them. Not against the Boston Bats. I mean, especially at home. The way they swing it, I just can't trust them. So I'll go with you with the over. I do like what Trev said in the chat. The old team total might to go over. That's also a good look. The way they're swinging the ball. I mean, I gave out the stats earlier, but I mean, it's just hard for me to back Flaherty. I just can't trust them. And I don't really know what to do with Boston's bullpen. So I think you hit it right in the head, man. We're just gonna stay away from the side and hit these totals.
I'm trying to see if I can find how the Orioles have done in a dog roll this season. So 38 and 28 straight up are the Baltimore Orioles in a underdog roll this season. 42 and 17 on the plus 1.5. But obviously when we talk about that, you're playing some heavy juice when it comes to that run line. But I mean, at minus 148, I mean, I think that if you're a parlay player, maybe you could parlay that together. But I think the value is definitely on the Orioles side in this game, especially how bad Chris Sale has been against the Orioles this season. Last game I think we want to talk about here, Lonte, is going to be the Padres and the Houston Astros. We have Seth Lugo on the mound we do have I think one more game. But we'll get to this game first. 7:10 Eastern start, the San Diego Padres and the Houston Astros. Seth Lugo on the mound for the San Diego Padres and Christian Javier on the mound for the Houston Astros. Astros are a minus 130 home favorite, plus 110 on the money line for the San Diego Padres. Start here with Seth Lugo. The total is set at 9 with juice towards the under at minus 115. And then run line minus 1.5 plus 145 for the Houston Astros and plus 1.5 minus 175 for the San Diego Padres. Start here with Seth Lugo, starting pitcher for the San Diego Padres. He's done pretty well over his last 5 games, man. 2-0 with a 1.24 ERA, 29 innings pitched. He's only allowed 4 earned runs in that span for the Padres. 27 strikeouts, only 6 walks over the last 5 games. Now, I'll admit it hasn't maybe been against the greatest offenses, but he's gone 6 innings in 4 straight starts, which against the Giants, the Cardinals, the Miami Marlins, and the Diamondbacks in back-to-back starts there back on around mid-August. But on the road this season, 2-2 with a 3.27 ERA. I want to see how he's done against the Astros in his career if he has faced them. Not really relevant. The last time he faced them was back in 2017. So not much there. Christian Javier has struggled this season, man. He did have a fantastic outing in his last start against the New York Yankees, which was on Sunday Night Baseball. And I say fantastic, but he's still given up the runs. I mean, he's allowed at least 3 earned runs in 4 straight starts to the opposition. He got off to a good start in that game against the Yankees. I think the first 3 innings he was cruising at, he had racked up the strikeouts, but it fell apart for him in that 5th and 6th inning. And again, for him over his last 5 games, he has a 5.84 ERA. I just think this might be another game where we do see runs. I'm not confident in backing Christian Javier right now just because of the way he is pitching. When we talk about the Padres team, I mean, we're not sure if the offense is going to show up for them either. So, I mean, if they can't show up against Christian Javier right now, who's prone to giving up runs over the last month or so, I think that might be some trouble for the Padres. But I think we do see runs in this game. That number is currently at 9. I still like the over. I think the Astros hot bats will continue, even though Seth Lugo has been pitching well here, Lonte.
Yeah, man. You know the Padres and the Blue Jays probably my arch nemesis in the MLB. I can't I can't get away from them, but I just got to stay away for now. They've cost me too much money. But yeah, I agree with you. I would much rather have the Houston team total to go over. I don't trust San Diego. I mean, I've seen it so many times where they look good and they just come out and lay egg the next few nights. But over the past 6 games, Houston's averaging 8.7 runs, hitting 347, averaging 9.9 hits and 2 home runs in their last 10 games versus righties. So they're really raking the ball. I mean, Lugo has been good. You ran out the numbers. He's been good. But again, I mean, you saw what Houston did to Scherzer. I mean, that was just deflating. Yeah. So I don't think they have a shot here, man. To be honest, I think Houston's getting in that mode where they're trying to, get to postseason healthy, on fire, and look to make another run. So I'm gonna go with Houston on the run line here, and I like the team total to go over.
All right, let's go back to a 6:05 Eastern start between the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. Johnny Cueto is going to start for the Miami Marlins, and Aaron Nola gets start for the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies are a minus 185 home favorite, plus 154 on the money line for the Marlins. Total is set at 9 with juice towards the over at minus 115. Run line minus 1.5 plus 110 for the Phillies, and plus 1.5 minus 122 for the Miami Marlins. What are you thinking about this game here, Lonte?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with another over here, man. I like the Phillies and I like over. Both teams have been playing well, actually, especially offensively. Miami scored 6+ in 4 of the last 5. I think they scored double digits twice versus the Dodgers, right? I know they got 8-10-0, but I think they scored double digits twice in that 3-game series. But they won the series 2-1. Phillies scored 5+ in 3 of their last 5. They're also over in 6 of their last 10. Miami's over in 7 of their last 10, which includes 5 straight. I don't trust Cueto at all. 4+ runs allowed in 3 of his last 5 starts. He's allowed 9 home runs in his last 5 starts. Multi-home runs allowed in 4 of his last 5. Nola did get blown up versus Milwaukee, but that was when Milwaukee was peaking offensively. So I don't know if I put too much stock in that, but I think we see some runs here, Munaf. I mean, I can't back Cueto at all. I can't back Miami on the road. Phillies at home with those bats against Cueto. I mean, you gotta back Philly here. I think Philly is the only side you can play. If you don't want to let the juice, just play the team total go over first 5 in full game. I really think that the Phillies have the way with Cueto tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, the home run numbers is what really jumps out off the page when you look at Johnny Cueto's starts over the month of August. In his last start, which was against the Nationals, he allowed 2 home runs, and walks are also concerned for Johnny Cueto as well. So if he lets a base runner or 2 on, and you have one of your power bats coming up, this could easily get away from Johnny Cueto in this game. And over his last 5 starts, 1-2 with a 5.93 ERA. Did face up Phillies earlier this season. 6 innings pitched, he allowed 4 earned runs, gave up a home run in that game. And this was back on August 3rd. They lost that game 4-2. Aaron Nola has also struggled against the Marlins for whatever reason. 2 starts this season, 0-2 with a 6.17 ERA. 11 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 8 earned runs in that span. 4 home runs he's allowed as well to the Miami Marlins. So in his last start, he got absolutely blown up by the Milwaukee Brewers. 4 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 7 earned runs off of 8 hits, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts in that game. So definitely going to be looking at the weather in this game. If it is the winds are, we get some winds blowing out, and if it's a humid day in Philadelphia, I think this may just turn into a home run derby for at least the Philadelphia Phillies here. So maybe look at some Phillies home run props in this game here as well. Maybe it's the Kyle Schwarbers of the world, the Bryce Harpers of the world. I know Trey Turner was put on paternity leave, I believe earlier this week, so he'll be missing this game. But yeah, definitely I do like the over with you. Phillies team total over for me. And then slight lean on the Phillies run line -1.5 plus 110. But favorite play runs with these 2 pitchers on the mound. There was one more game I wanted to touch on here, Lonte, which was going to be the Blue Jays and the Royals, but I really didn't have much on this. I mean, Kevin Gausman is on the mound for the Blue Jays, and I have Zach Greinke on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. And anytime I see Zach Greinke, I want to fade him when he is on the road. Yeah, I mean, look, he's 1-14 this season now. Lonte, 1-14. He has a 5.34 ERA now. I'll give him this. He did have a really good start out actually against the Toronto Blue Jays this season. 6 innings.
And Gausman got blew up his last start. Yeah.
1 earned run he gave up, but on the road this season, Lonte, 0-8. 7.15 ERA for Zach Greinke. Just hasn't been very pretty for him. The Royals have lost 4 straight starts when he is on the mound, and 3 out of those 4 games has been by multiple home runs. It just hasn't been very pretty for him. I think this might be a good bounce back spot for Kevin Gausman. Again, from what I've read, and then I'll have to watch this game and tune in tomorrow, that Kevin Gausman did get a haircut, or he trimmed the hair a little bit.
Oh man,
yeah. So I might have to tune into the game tomorrow and see if that is actually true or not. But I just think it's a good bounce back spot here for Kevin Gausman. Again, Zach Greinke 0-8, 7.15 ERA on the road. Not much more for me to add here. It's probably just gonna be Blue Jays team total and then Blue Jays run line in this game. I don't see official odds on this game yet, but I mean that's just the way I was leaning for this game here, Lonte.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. If you're here, if you got, I would definitely take that with Greinke on the road with the top of that lineup for the Blue Jays. Look at some Gosman total outs prop. I think he is going to have a really, really good game against his Kansas City lineup. Especially after his poor performance. I can't remember the team that he played, but they got blown up because I was on. I think me, you, and RC were all on the Blue Jays run line that game, and he got completely destroyed. It might have been Oakland.
Kikuchi, right?
No. I'm Gosman. I think Gosman got blown up. Yeah, Gosman got blown up in his last start, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who it was, but it was against a lesser talented team.
So he's covered this the Blue Jays have covered the last 2 games on the run line when he has been on the mound.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking about Ryu. Yeah, I'm thinking about Ryu. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I apologize, Gosman. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think he has a game tomorrow.
Yeah, he had a good start against the Royals this season. 6 shutout innings. He only allowed 4 hits to them, 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking about Ryu.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely do like the Blue Jays. One more game I did want to mention before we get to our picks here, Lonte. We talked a lot about on the pod throughout the seasons about fading pitchers coming off of either close to a no-hitter or a no-hitter. But I missed that boat, which I thought Alex Cobb was going to do that in this last game or his next start. But it came into fruition again. He had that no-hitter in 8 2/3 innings against the Cincinnati Reds. Did finish the game in 9 innings, but that next start, which was against the Padres, he got shelled and allowed 4 earned runs in just 3 innings. So I think that's something I definitely want to keep track of. There might be a database out there that may give us that information, but I just feel like more times than not, at any time a pitcher is coming off a no-hitter or even closer no-hitter that goes 9 innings, they get absolutely blown up in that next game.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so hard to have it. It's so hard to have your best stuff back-to-back starts. No matter you got 5 or 6 days off or whatever, it's just so hard. It's hard to do it from one game, let alone pull it out from multiple games. Yeah, so I completely agree with you there.
All right, let's let's close out this episode, I should say, with our lock and dog for the Saturday games. Lonte, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I sure can, man. I'm gonna go with something that we both like. I'm not gonna give up Chicago because I know that's just a given with our guy still on the mound. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia team total over. I'm seeing 4.5, but it's really juiced. I would just wait for a 5 because I think they clear 5 pretty easily here. I think 4.5 I see is like -140 if you don't want to lay that juice, which I mean I can understand if you don't. Wait for the 5, and I think 5 will be there, and you'll be able to get that at pretty decent odds. I think so. I think Philly will go to work at home. So I like them at home. Team total to go over. For my dog, I'm gonna go to Wade Miley in Milwaukee. In New York, I think New York has been hot, but Milwaukee's 37-34 on the road. Miley has pitched really well, 2.77 in his last 10 appearances, 4-1. Like I said, he's pitched really well on the road. I'm not concerned with the bats. I think he'll be fine. The Yankees do have a decent stretch of versus lefties, but again, you got moving parts in that lineup, and the younger guys are in. I think this might be their first time seeing Miley, so I think he has a little bit of advantage. I think they're at +120 right now. Is what I see.
For the run line, you said?
No, just the money line.
Oh, for the Brewers, I'm sorry. I see +120 over on DraftKings.
Yeah. So I'll take +120 on Milwaukee.
All right, love it. Man, I wish I had a run line right now on the Cubs and Justin Steele, but I wanted to give that out. It's going to be a nice plus price on that, but I can't give that out.
What, like 140?
Yeah, they're -140 right now, so probably like
-120,
+120, +130 on the run line. So I think that would be one bet that I would have given out, but obviously no lines, so I can't give that out. You know what? If it's not broken, don't try to fix it, man. I'm gonna go back to the same bet I have for Friday night: Orioles and Red Sox over 9.5.
That's a good bet.
But we talked about it with Jack Flaherty, and we talked about Chris Sale as well, who hasn't had a lot of success against the Baltimore Orioles this season. I just think that, again, both these guys are more than capable of being shelled in this game at 9.5. I think that number is a little bit conservative. Don't trust a bullpen for the Red Sox either, but I think, again, when we talk about hot offenses, these two teams are definitely it as far as the last couple of weeks here. So Red Sox and Orioles for me over 9.5. I'm going to go back to it. For my dog, Man, I wish they had the Rays run line, but I don't know why they
Yeah,
reverse it like
that's
that.
not a lot of intriguing dogs on the card tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't see a Blue Jays run line up yet either. So
Everybody betting NFL and college football. The lines aren't moving in
yeah.
MLB right now.
So I'll give this. I'll just mention the Blue Jays run line I want to take. Obviously, that line is not out yet. Obviously, I do expect them to be a heavy favorite. I'm not even sure that's going to be a plus price going up against the Royals. You know what? Just give me the Phillies run line -1.5 plus 110. I think that Johnny Cueto is probably getting blown up here by the Marlins, and I do trust Aaron Nola more at home than I do obviously on the road. I think that he can contain the bats here of the Miami Marlins. But at a plus 110 price with Aaron Nola on the mound going up against Johnny Cueto, it's just more of a fade of Johnny Cueto. But I agree with you. If Phillies team total over and over in that game as well, that's going to be a great look. Might be a good opportunity to do a nice stack there in this game.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast. Lonte, anything else you want to mention before we get out of here, my man?
Nah, man, that's good. Hopefully, we can catch some winners. It's the perfect time. You got the lines not being monitored to bet MLB. You know, it's gonna be some time to get some value here.
I agree 100%. We'll be back on Sunday evening sometime in some form or fashion with some members of the from our obviously MLB Gambling Podcast team. More than likely Mal. So if you're looking out for Mal, come join in on Wednesday. On Sunday night to handicap the games for Monday. NFL kicks off this weekend. Baseball. U.S. Open finals this weekend as well. A lot of sports happening. Bet responsibly. Make sure you, again, like I mentioned, bet responsibly. Make sure you get into that free roll football contest for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's absolutely free to get in. It's $1,000 first place price, $500 for second place. But if you're a Patreon member, those prizes double, and then you also get that nice autographed helmet from the guests that we've had on the Sports Gambling Podcast with Sean and Ryan. So definitely get in there. Lance, anything else, man?
Nah, man, I think you pretty much hit on it all. But make more put more emphasis on that bet responsibly, man. A lot of stuff going on. You don't got to bet every game. You don't have to blow your whole bankroll first week's it's a grind. I mean, if you're betting MLB, then you pretty much know this. But still, just make sure you bet responsibly, of course.
All right. Like I mentioned, Sunday evening, come back and join us at the usual time. Till then, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the games. Let's break these books off and let it ride.